Right, hi everyone. This has obviously been at least a month coming since you've heard this video was going to happen. We said we're going to do one more before we take a big massive swing. And yeah, that day has arrived. It is the 29th of February today. And yeah, I'm joined by, of course, the two network members who ended chapter 1 and who started chapter 2, Ladybug and Philip Cassidy. So, how are you two doing today?
Alright, yeah.
Good? Good?
Tired.
Yeah, it's been a long hard road. We've just had a 4-hour lecture before coming in today. Essentially, what we're here to do is relay the information as to what's going to happen going forward, and more specifically, on my end, why everything has kind of come to a standstill across the last 3 years, and why everything needs to change in a very dramatic way. But for now, at least, that's not an enormous. Right, it's going off. That's all.
That's
it is.
right.
What I'll do is I'll just check after every part. Is it okay if I can
Yeah,
just
do we have to pause it on?
yeah, just start it. Yeah.
Alright, let me just think how to start this.
Do you want me
Where
to
do you think
start?
the
Yeah, you
future?
start, yeah.
I'll start.
Where do you
Okay.
think the future of the network is going?
I think with an understanding, the network still exists.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that was just more of a space for like where we make stuff essentially. It's less of a commitment like it was maybe before.
I think it's just what's going on right now. I think is all three of us have things going on in our personal
Yeah.
lives, and specifically for mental health reasons, university life. Me and Philip, realistically, both of us are taking a step back.
Yeah.
Not to say that you won't see us at all.
Yeah.
'Cause of course, if we ever do come back, because I'm sure we will,
Yeah.
we will be as guests, not as network members. I think, honestly, I have enjoyed this process.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's been good for, exploration and coming to grips to how we work and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's just, there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah. And I think it's nicer to have this as a place where we can release content, we can try new things, and it's more centralized as well. There isn't like so much like stretching ourselves with like different sort of like channels as well. But yeah, and it's just a case of reprioritizing and focusing fire on the stuff that we really actually want to make and make sure that content is as good as it can be.
Is that good? Is that alright? Yeah.
Done. I had a plan to do this video in a certain way, and I don't think it's considerably panned out the way I wanted to. But I mean, then again, I don't think anything I've tried to do these last few years have. There's too much light in here coming in. We've done the best we can with the setup. There's just noises everywhere outside the place. But the thing is, I'd be lying if I said that I cared. I don't. If I'm going to do this, I think I need to structure it properly, and I have. I prepped in advance how I was going to do this, and they've said what they needed to say, and they've said it, and obviously it wasn't a lot to say. Me, on the other hand, it wasn't worth keeping them around, or the person who was who kindly volunteered to help us with the kit. Now that I'm doing this take, it's not necessary for them to be around anymore because they're not needed. I think I just need to pretty much say everything in which I need to, and have that be the end of it. I think you start this story at the end. I think the part that you all kind of know about. There are more people. So, as far as you know, there were only two people that turn the fucking piss. It's life, man. People just won't leave me the fuck alone. Fuck off. There, I think we're good. You start this at the end. I picked up Bug and Philip in two very different circumstances, simply because I was trying to rebuild the team, or even if you could even call it one. There was multiple people weren't pulling their weight. People who are enthusiastic to be there, sometimes put on camera, whatever it is, and I was the one doing the most, and it was my passion. It really it was. That's kind of in the foundation of all of this. I've tried to make it a group thing, but realistically, the network's me. That's what it is. It's me and just me and my passion, whatever you could call it. That's all it is. It's a microcosm of everything that makes me, me. It's probably why it's a bit of a mess. An awful lot of our divisions are ending, and for good reason, because I don't want to do them anymore. There's just I've got no passion for it anymore, and it's not something fun. It's not worth doing. Jigsaw Pictures, for one, that was about a franchise that I'm trying to develop that no one cares about. That's now one film, and documentaries made about the creation of that one film, if that film ever even does get created. So, I mean, let's start with that. What's the point in that? There isn't one. Studios is going to stay, and music is going to stay. I'm not going to talk much about what's going to happen with the divisions that are staying. There's just a lot that are going to go from this day forward with immediate effect, and I don't really want to elaborate on it anymore. Maester at the Movies will continue, and as far as I'm aware so far, it will change dramatically. Beadle News is dead from this day forward. Mr. Reacts. I think its content might be adapted into other areas, but as a division itself, its future is definitely uncertain. The Matthew May show, that is, I thought that was going to end, and I'm not sure right now. I'm not sure where I stand with that, but it's, we'll see. Build a Better World will stay, and Mr. Plays will also change its format dramatically. Mr. Boogie as a division is no more. Reviews will change its strategy. Reviews will change its strategy pretty dramatically going forward. Wargame Warlords from this day forward is officially closed, as is with Happy Talk, because I don't want to stream. I act like I want to stream and I don't. Theatre will stay. The Champions will change format along with Game Central, but Fry and Peter Pan and MSMR are no more as of today as well. The podcast will remain. Beadle and Sport as a full division will end as of today, along with most of the new ones that have been introduced but not debuted, such as Vertical Blue, Being Prepared, A Human Race of Many Colours, Beadle and Education, even though I'm not ruling Video S, is completely out of the picture. The Beadle and Foundation, Hot Ballers will change its format, but it won't be its full own division. Network Literature will stay, and Beadle and TV will be, right now at least, an enormous part of the network going forward, and games will stay too. But I admit defeat on Radio Blue for the last one of the bunch. That one's going today with immediate effect. We're giving up on that. That's done. So that's the plaster ripped off. Well, not fully, not yet. That's the divisions that are either getting reshaped, being kept, or outright decimated from today going forward. That's what's happening with those. Following that, I think I just casually try and stick to it before the scaffold for this video out of the window, because it doesn't matter. It goes without saying, I did not make this for entertainment purposes. I made this to be truthful. For once. Because I think it needs it. I'm not exactly at a low point. I don't feel that way. But I'm in a complete void of the unknown. I don't know where things are going. Things I had faith in previously, I now don't. And there needs to be a change. I'm not at my worst. This isn't another May 2022 again. But much like that, there's going to be a break, and a big one. I've got a rough target in my head how long I want that break to be. But it'll be as long as I damn well need it to be. It needs to be done for reasons that I need to. I'll try and elaborate on in the most professional way that I can, which I don't think is much. Starting the journey at the end. Yeah, rebuilding the team. So I picked up Philip and Bug to try and save the network, you could say, for Chapter 2. As per usual, I go to the drawing board and I list 1,000 projects that I want to do. Not even a slight hint or a question over whether it'll be successful or not. And frankly, I don't care whenever I do that.
I'm just a happy little child writing up whatever project he wants to do, not even caring if it's going to work or not. And yeah, piling an enormous amount of work on. And they can't keep up with it. It's as simple as that. They can't. And no one could. Nobody. Yeah, it wasn't really Elia's thing anymore. I'm not even really sure it was Evie's in the first place. Emily had priorities elsewhere. Abby had priorities elsewhere, and it just didn't become fun anymore fairly quickly, I'd say. Jake is a deep, deep friend of mine, and I think he wouldn't be able to handle this life anymore. And that in itself should have been a red flag, because what is this life? Cameron, too, for that matter. Cameron's not as good on camera as Jake is, but both of them, same principle. I don't think they could handle it in the skill that it was, so that was that. Philip is, just tongue-tied in multiple different ways, and Bug is just, like myself in many ways, a lot more vulnerable than it might seem. Leaving workload to take charge and mount a full attack on both of us. And we can probably both handle it about as well as each other, but one of us disguises it an awful lot better, the effects on them. Kind of why this video exists. And Dan, well, I mean, his heart was in it, in every way. And true, well, no, I wouldn't say he was incapable, but there was a certain standard that needed to be upheld. And yeah, his heart was in it, and not many of their skills were across the lot of them. They weren't able to pull their weight with me, which is probably why I had no problem letting Dan go and being happy with everyone else going on their own accord. Because I just knew coming around the corner there was a university team waiting for me, 10 to 15 man strong, and it was going to dominate. It was going to be unstoppable. I was right back to where I was in 2021. I came up with this channel in January to March, right when that lockdown happened. And I swear to fucking God, I thought King was going to come out and I thought I'd have 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. Words of a delusional little boy. And look where I am now. I'm a man with, well, in my heart of hearts, not many prospects, I'd say, right now. A network that he's put all of his soul into and wasted 2.5 years of his life. And that this is what I get back, because yeah, there'll be guests back them too. There'll be guests them too, but really this is the disassembling of the team. The team's no more now. That's it. That there, whatever I've put in the edit for you to see from them at the start of this video, that's them gone. They'll be back, probably, but full time, I'm the only one that's left. That's it. It's done. And yeah, that is officially me throwing in the towel, as is, with the network, and saying that the strategy of which I've been doing it, no matter how many times I've revamped it or tweaked things, it isn't working. It's not going to work. It's done. So that's why I've just axed more than half of my divisions, or just under. That's why I've done that, because the scaffold as is isn't going to work, and without doing a full hard reboot, I've done a soft one instead. There will be a soft reboot and a long extended break following this video where you will see nothing. I think socials will be limited to probably my personal Instagram account and maybe the official one for the network, and all of the socials will be terminated outside of YouTube because I don't want them. It's a lot about what I want to do, because I'm 19 and I think I've been parading around like I'm someone I'm not. And a lot of it has to come down to what I want to do. Yeah. So that was the goal. Honestly, times didn't really change. I just thought that I could throw together just loads more people, like-minded people at university, put together an absolutely killer troop and dominate. Do exactly what I wanted to do at the start of college, except here. And it's just an endless cycle. I just wanted to succeed. Just to do this, to do things, and just to win. That's what it was. I wanted just 10 million. I sized that up a few years ago because I'm a big Sidemen fan, and I just thought, you know what? You get 10 million subscribers. You don't need anything else. You don't need anything else. You've got a big enough audience in the UK with that, just like they have. You don't need to be some worldwide sensation. That's it. Worldwide, you'll probably be madly known, but it's like you're a big thing in the UK. You've got 10 million people following you. That's enough people to change people's lives. That's what that is. To just entertain them. To just be there. That's what it is. And that was it. And I just thought, me alone with my good ideas and poor execution, I thought I could do it. I was blind. I'm not even that charismatic a guy. I'm better in videos like this than I am anything else. Because I talk for England with no fucking substance. I'm not much. I used to think I was 10 feet tall. 100 at that. Now I'm not so sure. I know, and I could only apologise as to why I'm acting a certain way. I'm just trying to be honest, like I said. And there's really not there's got to be a reason why I'm acting like this now, why it's kind of been festering, at least the last few videos, and now I'm fully letting it out. Essentially, I hit a bit of a crossroads, you see, because the way I was doing things with life and the network failing, I honestly had the delusion that I'd walk out of university with a network that was making profit, and I'd honestly work from that, and I'd just be happily ever after, and not actually thinking that I'd have to go into the real industry and listen to people that I don't like, take advice from them, and and me thinking that their ideas weren't as good as mine, but I'd have to fucking do it anyway. But you have to. I knew that. But it's more like, do I have to face that? And you do. Everyone does. But then again, that's me thinking I was invincible. I sat down and had a 2+ hour discussion with one of my lecturers, and I'm sure he'd have no issues at all with me saying that. Like probably every student he's ever had in the early days, he just drives you mental because he hits you with some very hard truths. And he's a genius, that's what he is. He's probably the most fascinating man I've ever seen grace this earth. I can't get enough of what he has to say. And I'll be eternally grateful for the time that he sat with me when I was practically self-combusting. And he sat with me and talked me through life and the perspective on it, in a sense that I now know where to go, that I can just take it slow. And I can just chill. Everything is a learning progress, and I've just thought I was so perfect. I'm not like an egomaniac like that. Not that I thought I've got a big ego, but nothing like that. I didn't mean I was a perfect specimen. I meant that I just thought, you know what, Matthew, this field specifically, fuck the rest of your life. You're no good in that. You're no good to anybody. But that, no, you can excel. You can be a king. You can rule the land. Yeah, and guess what? It's not good being of a king if there's no fucking anybody in your kingdom. There's no one there to shout your name. Nobody there. You live in a fucking lonely castle all by yourself with no one there. You think you have friends, but all you really have is subjects. You can act like they're friends, but they're not. They're really not. And you wish they were friends. You really wish they were, and some of them are. But it's like you only see one thing that's worth getting up in the morning for, and it's this. Your empire. But what? But why? He told me just to enjoy myself. He told me to just enjoy myself as a 19-year-old guy, which I'll be honest, I've never even thought about doing before, because I didn't think there was any use to it. I've also never had someone stare me in the face and tell me so many times on repeat that you just need to see somebody, which I do. And that's why a break needs to happen, and a long one. And the whole of this video will kind of spell out why. But besides that, that was just a big part of it. There's a big part of it. I just need to see someone. I've got an awful lot to unpack. And I might seem at my lowest now, and I'm not. I'm just confused. And you know what? At 19 years old, it's okay to feel that way. And you know what? Especially men. Because you know what? We have feelings. I know sometimes it might not seem like it, but we do. And we never share them with anybody. Ever. But I am. right now. I just feel lost. Because I thought I had this grand design purpose, and I gave myself that because I didn't believe in wanting to take its place. Yeah. I'm not a believer in God, just to say that. That's kind of, it's relevant because that's kind of how it plays into this, because I didn't feel like there was someone overhead watching me or any kind of reason as to why we're all just sat here floating in the middle of the cosmos. Because I didn't have a reasoning for that, I decided to make my own, as said at the end of my shitty little ASMR series. I'm actually telling a lie about that. It was an overshare. I shouldn't have said everything I said in that series, but it was a fun little series. I do still like it. At this time anyway, I do. But yeah, I decided to give it my own meaning. And that was because of the things I've been through. Not dramatic compared with everybody else by any stretch of the imagination. People have gone through some shit that I know. I can hardly complain, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I think everything you know me to be, especially if you don't know me somehow watching this network, everything you know me to be came about because of the things that have happened to me. I have autism, of course, can't shake that, and I learned to harness it pretty well as a child, and well, as an older child, and I kept it under wraps from about the end of primary school. I was exactly what you'd expect, probably a spectrum child to be, very passionate, and that hasn't changed really. But a very passionate individual that felt more comfortable talking with girls than boys, who was I was very I loved people. There was a time when I did, and I really, really loved them. And I don't even know what that word is anymore. I don't even believe in it. Because that too is now some idea. What does it even fucking mean? What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. I care about people now. I have allegiances to people. But what is that word? What is it? 4 letters, and what does it mean? What does it actually mean? Does it mean you go out of your way to see them every weekend? Kiss them, have intercourse with them, go out on dates? What the fuck does that word mean? We made it up. What does it even mean? It's got no meaning to it. What's meaningful is what we do and associate with that word. And the feelings that come with that, I don't feel them anymore. That's why I don't believe in the word. But at the time I did. And I cared so much about people. Girls especially. Don't know why. I just felt a serious attachment towards them. And when you kind of half mask the fact you're on the spectrum in secondary school, and all you want to do is just care for these girls, not fitting in with the boys at all, you're shit at football, pal. But when all you want to do is just get through school, and your only anchor is just in the company of girls who understand you more than the guys do, because of your passion. The passion's actually overriding, the passion's too much. So of course, 12, 13 years old, you scare them off enormously. And one case in particular was, very bad. And you learn not to feel anymore, because when all you ever do is feel these things, and you were judged and punished for it, outcast by an entire year group, mocking you for your passion in life, you find something else to fill that void and you suppress it. I've done movies since I was 9 years old. I did entertainment. The Clueyverse Legacy, if you've seen that special. I did stuff with my friends since a very, very young age. And I did do stuff around year 6, even year 7 a little bit. But you get to year 8, and the biggest of incidents with this passion and putting people off and making a fool of yourself and just being heartbroken by it. What happens is you turn to something else, and that was it. By mid-year 8, I'd made 11 films. Short, feature length, whatever. I made 11. By the start of year 11, I'd made 30. I made 19 films. 19 in like 3 years. That's no coincidence. That's a pattern. And of course, because I'm a delusional person, you just go from the person you put off because of your passion to the next person and the next person. Because you don't just learn to shut your passion off and suppress it overnight. It takes multiple occasions. And with more people who feel uncomfortable by how much you care about them, and sometimes barely even knowing them, the more times that happens, you end up in a dark pit, sometimes without even realising it. And then you realise, right, okay, what do I fill the void with instead? Yeah, it's projects. That's what you fill it with. So it happened again, and again, and again, and again, and again. It happened on the schoolyard. It happened in the snowy mountains of Andorra. It happened on a bus coming back from London. It happened literally everywhere. Lockdown, worst of all. Because the thing is about lockdown, you can't see your friends. You can't shoot more movies, can you? All I've ever felt since year 8 is just noise. Noise. Crushing my head in a fucking vice. And lockdown, I just felt quiet. Nothing. I loved it. I accepted there was going to be a break, much like I am now. A break from real life. And I just felt relieved. I should have taken notes. I just watched the world go to carnage, and I just sat in my back garden and I just relaxed. Because I felt like the eyes weren't on me anymore. And you know what? They never were. No one's ever had their eyes on me. I've just been convinced that people have had their eyes on me. The whole time. And of course I confide in another person who I have incredible passion for. Almost because I had nothing else to do. I reverted back in the strongest way possible because I had no project to make. It's almost as if I snapped back into my real life, who I really am. A person who seriously cares about people. And even that wasn't enough. a period of relief. Someone else comes along and shows old me exactly why you should be doing projects in the first place, mate, because it's all you're good for. So I accepted that was all I was good for. Yeah. I accepted that was all I was good for. And I created a divine purpose. No one wants your love, Matthew. There is no God. No one cares who you are. Only anyone ever cares about in this world is what you can do for them. What others can do for them. No one cares about anybody else. The sense of a collective in this country, in this nation, in this world is gone. No one cares about everybody anymore. They only care about themselves. So, and to be honest, I don't blame them. It's just anarchy wherever you look. So, what do? Matthew, here's what you do with your life. You give them hope. You make them smile. You tell stories. That's what you want to do. You want to tell stories. You want to escape from this real life. Allow people without the creativity, the people lacking of it and no fault of their own, allow them the opportunity to do that. To put a smile on people's faces, even if it's the last smile they ever have. Put it on their faces. Shine a light over the people who feel unseen. Just give them some joy. Because there's not a lot of it going round. And so, yeah, that's where 19 films comes from in 3 years. I remember literally going around with box sets on days where we're all in our tutor groups, and I literally was handing out DVDs of my film. And I get people could take that as egotistical. Absolutely, they could. Oh, you've got to watch my film. No, I wanted people to come up to me and say, Matthew, you know what, right? That was great, that man. It's shit looking back, of course it is. But that one in particular, it's like, I just wanted people to be happy and know that I had done something, that I had made a difference, that my passion had actually done something. Rather than put people away, unite them. That I'd done something good. So I build this grand divine purpose up. And it's not helped by the fact that at the end of year 11, I was voted by the entire collective community of my year group that I would be the most likely to be famous because of the work I'd done. And I don't know if they were even taking the piss. So a part of me even makes me wonder that they weren't. They're being brutally honest. And I think a part of me thinks that because I very quickly built up an expectation that is what other people's expectation was of me. And therefore it had to be done. Every time you've tried to love Matthew, it's gone to shit. Every time you've tried to do anything meaningful in your life as a regular guy, it hasn't worked. And all you ever do is get hurt. So, that's what you're here for. That's what you're here to do. And so I set out on my journey, having finished my childhood movies with my friends at the end of year 11. In the last few months of year 11 before exams, I come up with the idea for the network, and by September, make way for the Maester. And there I was. I wanted 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. I wanted 10,000 subscribers by the end of Chapter 1 in August 2023 before it got extended. And I roughly wanted 100,000 subscribers by the end of Chapter 2. That at the time was the projections that I made. And I thought, you know what, Matthew, you can be something to people. And I don't use the autism card very, very much, but you could be something to that community. You can show them that, you know what, we can do really special things. And just all that expectation, it piles on you. So do you know what happens when you don't get a fucking video out on time, when you don't fail, when you don't meet your projections, when you can't put a film together, where the cast aren't responding with you, when ballad doesn't happen when you want it to? Why does that all pile up? Why does that all pile up? It piles up because people expect the world of you. They expected the world of me, or at least I thought that way. And do you know why I feel bad? Do you know why I felt bad and have been for so long? Because I feel like all I ever do is let them down. I don't feel anything I thought I was useful for was not accepted by the real world. And then what I thought my grand design was, I couldn't live up to. Because I made a perception in myself that was so big and so bold that I don't think anyone in the world could live up to it. Nobody. I wanted to be a king. I wanted to be something special for everybody. And all I've done is let everybody down. Everybody. But no one more than myself. The future is more clear now. It's more clear than it was a couple of months ago. I know that I am at peace with the fact that, you know, even if I do go into industry, I can continue to work on the network and get back to doing what I really love, which is just making this content and not doing it because I feel I have something to live up to. The biggest question I think to ask myself is, why do I feel I even need to live up to anything in the first place? Why did I even want to be a megastar? Why did I want to be anything significant? Anything more than what I already am? Why did I ever build up that defense? Why am I so naive? Why do I think things are going to work when they don't? Why am I such an optimist in ideas, in people? Why? It's because I don't think I've grown up at all. I think I've been jumping leapfrog from heartbreak to heartbreak for 6 to 7 years. And I'm just still that boy. I haven't moved, I haven't budged from that spot. I'm just the same old boy in a blazer who's just hurting. Shouting at everyone around him, look at me, aren't you proud of me? Aren't you proud of everything I've done? Aren't I amazing? None of you love me, none of you really care about me, none of you would ever want to go somewhere with me, do anything that I'd find socially comfortable to do. None of you would ever want to do that, but look, love me this way. Aren't I so phenomenal? The director. Aren't you so special? I'm stuck in that same spot. That's the issue. I've never moved. I've just thought I could play a child for my entire life, this whole time. And eventually you need to grow up. I've had 1,000 warning signs telling me to just slow the fuck down, and I haven't listened. because exposing everything up, it would just hurt too much. Well, now I'm gonna have to hurt whether I like it or not, because these bags need unpacking. I think the biggest reason why I'm doing this video is not just for my past self, not just for my present, but for the future and anyone else who watches this, as a reference that, you know what, I'm actually not that bad. I'm not that bad. I'm not an egomaniac. I'm not a dickhead. I'm not everything people might say I am. I'm not difficult to work with. I'm not some guy who thinks he's a messiah. I don't want to be a symbol. Not anymore. I'm just passionate. And I care. I care about what I do. I care about people. And some people, I care about them more than I'm comfortable to say now. All I can do is just suppress it. The only passion I have to spare always goes into my work, because I haven't felt comfortable releasing the rest of it. I haven't even been a person, I've been a robot impersonating a person till now. So when the projects and the numbers and the network fail, I failed. And I have failed. Since day one to now. Without refrain. It's all I've done. Because I'm not happy. I'm really not okay. Because I haven't even learned how to deal with my problems. And I've just had them build. I've only had one outlet and it's actually turned out more unhealthy than any substance or any drug I possibly could have taken. Do you know there was even a point where I actively did not want to be here anymore. And even now it comes back in waves sometimes. And the only reason why I am, the only reason why Harvey Young was, is because both I and him were too scared to go through with it. So you might as well carry on. Only reason. Well, thank God I'm over it all now. I even like the idea of it. I like the idea of probably doing something bold and going out in a blaze of glory for whatever reason. Because even then that made life meaningful. It made it mean something. It really meant something that way. At least it wasn't boring. But I don't really care about my life being boring anymore. At least off camera. I don't care. Because I really do now, more than ever, need to figure out who it is I really am. Because I think the most honest I've been in 2.5 to 3 years has been the last hour, me sat in front of you. That is about the most honest I've been. And that's what this is about, it's about honesty. It's not some crybaby fest. It's about being honest and open with the world as to why, for the 1000th time, I need to take a break, and why this time I don't care about making a comeback. I don't care about upholding anything about myself, any reputation to anybody. I don't give a shit. I don't care. Because I matter. I matter. No one else this time. I make films and I do all of this because I love it. I really, really love it. I love watching them. I love making them. I love telling stories about characters I make up in my own mind because it makes me feel better about myself. I love it. And for the most part, it's not unhealthy at all. It never was when I started. It never is now. The only unhealthy part about how I abused it, I used it and abused it. My skill set, if you want to even call it that. I used and abused my time in this craft as a vice. As a vice for my problems. That's the only way I went wrong. I need to do something because I want to. Not because I feel I have to for anybody. Because I'm more than that. I'm worth more than that. I mean, who even am I now? I'm not even sure I know. But what I do know is that I'm strong. I've been through all of this and I'm still standing. I'm still here. And I still will be here. Because in a way I really am invincible. No one's gonna stop me. No matter how hard they try. I'll keep coming back to this network. I'll keep marching on. I'll keep waking up in the morning without doing something stupid to myself. Because if life is a fight, I keep getting knocked down. You'll be damn well sure I don't stay down. I've been getting back up over and over and over again because I feel it's all I can do. But now I know it's all I have to do. Just keep getting back up. That's what matters. And whenever I do come back to this network, because believe me, I would never end something like this so special to me on a video like this. Don't be worried about that. When I do come back, I'll just come back. And I'll keep coming back. And if I ever need to do this again, I'll come back again. No force, no man, no mind of my own will keep me down any longer. It's a word that's used too commonly for me to ignore. So I need to learn what love even is again. I need to figure that out. And I need to accept that loving other people is not something to be ashamed of. And if anything, does not get reciprocated. It's no one's problem but theirs. It's not mine. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be loved. Most importantly, I deserve to love others and not suppress that and damage myself. I care about the people in this world, and even if I'm the last of that kind, it's not going to stop me. Nothing will. I'm going to be who I was put here to be. Nothing stopped me so far. I don't think anything will. The big reason why I'm taking a break. I need to find out who that person is. And who knows? Maybe he's a pretty swell guy. I wore these for a time because I thought if I ever found someone that truly loved me as much as I love them, I'd give up one of these, and with it they'd take half my soul, who I am, and I'd share it with them. I kept wearing them because I decided it was the essence of who it is I really am. But I don't know who that is anymore. But I'll find out someday. I will. So, for now, I don't see why I should be cuffed to my past anymore. The only person ever holding me back really was myself. Not anymore. Not anymore. It feels like freedom. That's what it feels like.
Bye.